have the honor to have two guests next to me. We're going to be talking about who they are, what they're all about. And right now, I'm gonna just switch up things. This is gonna be the ball connection hour. Because we all sitting here, beautiful black men with bald heads. So right now is the ball connection hour. But I have on my right Johnny Davis. He has a book, I'm Still Here. He is a life transformation coach, an author, and a speaker. And on my left, I have Brian McNeil. And he is Mr. Life Minister, and that's brand new.
Well, I'm actually a sales coach and a sales speaker, but my life is ministry.
Yes, and because we'll talk about that. Because I did see you made that announcement.
I did.
So we'll definitely get into that. Author, sales coach, and the founder of MEN. We'll talk about that. He has some great books, The Shortcut, Acting for the Money, and Why Not? And what's the last one?
Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople.
Why Rhinos Makes Great Salespeople. So stay tuned, stay here. We're going to have a whole lot of fun on this hour. But first, let me introduce Mr. Johnny Davis. Want to say hello?
And the crowd goes wild.
How you doing, Mr. Davis, this morning?
I am outstanding. Thank you for having me as a guest today.
Oh, not a problem, not a problem. Well, what I want to do right now, I really want to get into your story and jump right into it because your story is amazing. And please let the people know who you are, what you're about, and give us a little synopsis about your book.
All right, well, my name is Johnny Davis, and I live here in Charlotte, North Carolina, but I'm originally from Newark, New Jersey. And I'm a speaker, an author, best-selling author, a coach, and I actually, the area of coaching that I focus on is executive leadership coaching with the emphasis on behavioral conditioning. So we specialize in getting you to transform the way you are thinking about everything as it pertains to what you're doing in your life, from a health perspective, financial perspective, emotional perspective, really getting you to really see things totally differently so that you can yield the results and the results that you want to get, that you really want to manifest, and you can actually manifest those results because everything starts with your thinking. I wrote my book, I'm Still Here, From Heart Failure to Heart of a Champion, and actually it chronicles the last 10 years of my life, and I start with talking about my diagnosis with congestive heart failure at age 34 years old. Now, prior to that, I had been an athlete. I don't drink or smoke. I've never used any illegal drugs, but for some reason, I actually developed this weakened heart muscle that literally almost killed me back in 2006. And between 2006 and 2012, my heart never got back to full strength. And it appeared on December 24th of 2012 that I actually lost my life from my battle with my heart issue by way of sudden cardiac arrest. And I went into sudden cardiac arrest at 3 o'clock in the morning. My wife and I, we were sleeping, and she said I reached over and I grabbed her, and I don't recall anything about that. But she said I reached over and grabbed her, and she started calling my name, and I didn't respond. And so she turned on the lights, and she saw that my eyes were rolling in the back of my head. She immediately called 911. They tell her what to do as far as the chest compressions and such. And she began doing the chest compressions only to witness me take my last breath in her hands and die. So between that period and the period where I actually started breathing on my own again, there was a period of 16 minutes where I had no pulse, I had no oxygen to my brain whatsoever. So my life today is a pure miracle from God. I'm sitting here today by the grace of God only. And I'm kind of giving you the Cliff Note version.
Yeah. You want them to read the book.
There's a lot more details involved, right? So if you really want to know the nitty-gritty, you can get the book. It's an Amazon bestseller today, and I'm really excited about that. And it's a #1 Amazon bestseller, and we're looking to get it to New York Times bestseller.
Great. Since we're on the book topic, I'm gonna go over to Mr. Brian McNeil. I see you have a few books in your hands right now. Give me a synopsis of all three, and why did you decide to write these books?
Well, sure. My career as a professional salesperson began when I was 23. My wife came to me and said, "We are pregnant now," and I knew I needed to make more money. I was a front desk supervisor at a hotel. and that wasn't earning enough money. But I'd heard about sales, so I thought I wanted to find a sales job, and I did. I found a sales job, a straight commission job. I was 23. I was filled with confidence. It was a straight commission sales job, and I was horrible at it for 8 months. I mean, I was the worst man in the office. They had a leaderboard every single month. The top salesperson's name went to the top. Then the second place, and the third place, and fourth, and fifth, down to the 15th man. And my name was typically one of the bottom of a couple. And they wouldn't even talk to me, you know, because I couldn't sell. And they had a thing, if you didn't make a sale the day before, you couldn't talk in the meeting the next day. Wow. We had a meeting 5 days a week, so I wouldn't say much or anything. But by Providence, I discovered a book on sales. And I started turning pages of that book, and I got better and better at selling. And by my own count, I've read more than 700 books on how to sell. Wow. And if I had it to do over again, I wish I had read this book first.
And that's
this book is called The Shortcut. This is the first book that I published. It's only 74 pages. There's a whole lot of cake and very little frosting. It just teaches you what to do. Brother Lewis and Johnny, you know, we're out and about, we're in the community. We see so many people with wonderful services to offer, with good character, but they don't earn money that they could because they have poor selling tactics. Correct. Or they don't know how to introduce what they do, or they don't make the money. And a lot of it is a mechanical function. They just don't know what to do. Right. Their heart's in the right place, but they don't have the skill. Right. So my life is a ministry in teaching these people how to use the gift, skills, and talents that they already have in order to earn more money than they ever had before, just by learning how to sell it. So the book, The Shortcut, is nuts and bolts of what to do to sell yourself and your services better than you ever had before, so you can earn more money than ever before. Okay. Now this book teaches you what to do, but it does not teach you how to overcome objections or close sales. When I first started, I thought that was the key to selling. I don't think that's the key anymore. I think now prospecting makes more sense now to find the right people for what you have. But I did write the book, Asking for the Money, how anyone can close more sales, even you. This book teaches you what to do before you ask for the money, when you ask for the money, after you ask for the money, when you get a little bit of resistance, when you get a lot of resistance. This book will pour into you confidence. So whenever someone gives you lame objections, like I want to think about it, or get back with me next week, or I'll talk to you in the spring, or lame, you'll have to suppress the urge to giggle, because you're going to know how to handle that and knock it out of the park and transmute that into money right now. And I'm very proud of my children's book, Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople. We all speak in schools, but when I go to schools to speak, I ask, what do you want to do when you grow up? And you get like 5 answers. Yeah, of course. Some sort of an athlete, some sort of a programmer, some sort of an entertainer.
I wanted to be a superhero.
And you want to be a superhero, okay? Yep. You still kind of look like a superhero, man. You could be the Hulk, you know? But Why Rhinos Make Great Salespeople, paralleling the characteristics of a rhinoceros versus a cow, for one thing. Cows spend their whole lives in the same pasture, happy. Yes. Never even wonder what's over the hill. But rhinos don't live that way. Rhinos got to know some stuff. Rhinos charge after some things. Correct. And it's just running some parallels, and the children love the book, and I love the book too. So that's why I say my life is a ministry, to help people to sell themselves and their services better.
And I see you have a workbook.
The workbook for The Shortcut. These are for when I do workshops. Pretty much. That way they don't have to, some notes I want them to take, and I made it easy for them. Yeah. When people order my book online, I do think it's a good idea to get The Shortcut and Asking for the Money together. But if they want to be a little bit more formal, to kind of write their own sales manual, the workbook comes with it. You know, and it's pretty good. It's just a place where you can capture your notes and actually do, The Shortcut is an action book. You can do some of the stuff in here, but you'll need some more paper, so that's what that's for. Okay. And for
the both of you guys, and either one, I see both of these ministries that you guys are talking about as your passion. Where did that passion come from? And Johnny, please, and I know from your story, but the outcome of why this became a passion for you. Well, what do you see out there?
Well, there's a lot. Well, first, let me kind of back up and tell you where this all originated from. I actually started my career in the area of, I went into corporate America, graduated from one of the top business schools in the country, got my degree, went off into corporate America, and I was working just like everyone else. And I quickly discovered that that particular environment was not something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and so I actually went into the area of network marketing at 24 years old. And I was able to learn some things that I didn't learn in business school. I learned some concepts. I learned some sales techniques and things of that nature, and how to connect with people and how to build rapport and how to find the right people to create something magical. And by age 31 years old, I was able to retire from corporate America and haven't worked a job since. And I've been able to help thousands upon thousands upon thousands of other people retire from their jobs or either earn great part-time income. So my ministry became, at that time, my passion, if you will, became helping to free people from financial pain and sharing with them how you could actually tap into the gifts and the life that you really are born to have. But unfortunately, most people don't get a chance to live that dream because they're busy making a living. They're doing what they have to do instead of what they were born to do. So for me, having that experience of being able to kind of live my life on my own terms for the past 14 years, going on 15 years now, it was just a lot of fun to be able to help other people elevate to that next level. When I went through my health challenge, and at a very young age, at the peak of my career, at the very peak, it really crystallized some things for me. You know, one of the things that taught me was that life is very fragile. It's very short. Mm-hmm. And when you go through a sudden cardiac arrest experience, it also taught me that death gives time all of its value. Mm-hmm. So you start to think about what it is that you're doing with your time on a daily basis. And for me, it became a passion to really help people maximize your life and maximize the time that you're spending, whatever it is that you're doing. Ask yourself a question: why do you do what you do on a daily basis? Why do you spend the time with the people that you spend the time with? Why do you go and frequent the places that you go? And you have to ask yourself, is it serving you? Is it taking you to the next level? Mm-hmm. Is it evolving you? My mantra is, if it doesn't evolve you, it should not involve you. Mm-hmm. And that simply means if it's not taking you to the next level in your life to help you reach your full potential, then why are you wasting your time doing it?
Why bother?
Because tomorrow it could all be over. And you want to be remembered for something other than living in a big house, having made a lot of money, and maybe drove some nice cars and wore some nice clothes. Like, people, they're not going to remember you for that. They don't care about that. Yeah. People are not going to remember you for how all the accolades and things that you achieved. They're going to remember you for the way you made them feel and the impact that you made on their life.
Great.
So that's what my life is about right now.
Well, I'm actually the same question. Where's your passion came from? Where did this all started for you? And then from there we'll wrap this segment up and go from there.
I'm really happy that we're on together, because I love your story. I've heard Johnny's story several times, and I love his story. But my passion is that I do believe that every one of us is born with a gift, skill, and talents. And every one of us is here for a specific purpose. And every one of us is here to answer a specific question to the universe. And because of that, I think my job is, and I think God has uniquely gifted me to help people to let their gifts make room for them and earn their money with it. Mm-hmm. I think the most important, if I was to boil it down to the two most important skills that we all need to develop, and it has more to do with our happiness and sadness, our success and failure, money or poverty, whatever, but the ability to communicate and the ability to sell. Mm-hmm. I think those two things have everything in it. And I know a lot of people have a negative connotation when it comes to the word sell,